My name is Ksenia Sal. I am the Vice President of the international movement MILSET, and I will moderate this roundtable. So, dear colleagues, dear teachers, educators, organizers of STEM programs around the world, I'm very glad to welcome you at the MILSET Vostok Roundtable STEM Education in the World, Current State and Development Challenges. Our roundtable is organized as a part of international conference, research activity of students in modern educational space, and Alexey Obukov, who is here with us today, he is the head of organizing committee of this conference. So the main organizers of our roundtable are the MILSET Vostok Regional Department and the All-Russian Movement of Creative Teachers, Researcher, and I and Alexey Obukov would like to thank those organizations for all their support. So we are starting. Dear participants, dear listeners, you can write your question in the chat. And now let me give a floor to our first speaker and our great friend, the president of International Movement MILSET, Mr. Roberto Hidalgo, who will open this roundtable and then present the MILSET experience in organizing STEM programs for youth during 35 years. So Roberto, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Good morning from Mexico, and good afternoon and good night in many other parts of the world. I really appreciate this invitation, and I congratulate all the organizers for this fantastic initiative. So I will try to be very short. Thank you for these international scientific and practical conferences. I learned that it is not the first one, but it's the 8th. So thank you for this opportunity. I will try to share with you the experience of MILSET, that is an international NGO created 37 years ago. Roberto Hidalgo. I have the honor to be the president of this organization from some years already. Well, MILSET was founded with the main goal to promote the science and technology in youth, and it creates a very nice experience at the first moment of its creation in Canada in '87. But today all efforts are focused on developing the scientific culture, mainly in STEM activities. So we organize congresses, we organize exhibitions. So let's see a little bit about that and how we are impacting in the STEM. Of course, everybody knows what those mean, STEM acronym, but let's remember a little bit about that. The first letter, the S, is about science, of course, the T about technology, the E about engineering. Sometimes we use the A. In MILSET, we use the A because we are working also with arts that are very a close concept together with science historically, and of course mathematics. All that 5 topics together are STEM, or STEM in some cases where arts are not considering, but of course are inside of science, in science and technology, in engineering and mathematics. Okay, let's go for the next one. Just a little bit, maybe the connection is a little bit. As I told you, MILSET works at developing opportunities to support its member organizations that are all around the world. We have more than 130 organizations in almost 80 countries, involving in STEM activities and networking with their own members, collaboration. So we have few experience on those activities, and we already get an impact in many generations of youngsters, students, from kids to high school students and also university students. So 10 of thousands of those kids, including me, many years ago, had the opportunity to participate in MILSET activities and be really in love with the STEM. We organized one of the biggest science fairs in the world, and now regionally we are growing with more and more collaboration. Let me talk a little bit of our star activity. It is called Expo Sciences, and it is a science fair that it is organized each 2 years. For example, our next International Expo Sciences will be held next year in 2025 in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. And the mixture of activities that an International Expo Sciences offer, it's really fantastic because it combines the cultural, the scientific, the engineering. We have some other activities inside that allows the participants to interchange ideas, to know more about the place or the city where the Expo Sciences is realized. They can participate in conferences, in workshops, and of course, make a lot of friends, pairs who has the same interest that the students are presenting their projects. They can present projects about biology or engineering or social sciences, but also the years that we are not hosting an International Expo Sciences, for some years ago, some regions of MILSET, of course, including Vostok, are organizing the regional Expo Sciences. So, for example, this year we have regional Expo Sciences. We will host our European Expo Sciences in Sarajevo, in Bosnia and Herzegovina in July, and we will host also the Latin American Expo Sciences on November in Lima, Peru, and Vostok will hold regional Expo Sciences in Moscow also. So that events open the door for participants to present projects who has been evaluated in regional or national events belonging to organizations, members of MILSET, or invitation to new organizations to join to these activities. But also, together with Expo Sciences and with an invitation for all organizations, we are inviting to join to the MILSET Youth Citizens Conferences. This is an idea that allows the participants to discuss and to know a little bit more about a specific topic of science and technology. For example, each 2 years we choose a topic. We start with chemistry in 2008, and we have the climate change. So we have a worldwide panel about this topic. The last one was so interesting. It's about our future in space. And this year, very soon, you will find the new topic for this year in the MILSET website. So all students are invited to participate you can participate also in listening interesting conferences. Last year we invite some people from NASA to talk a little bit about how NASA is organizing space activities with kids and to reflect about the future, if it is okay to go to find new experiences in the space or stay in the planet. So the kids has their own opinion. And now I will present to you Another activity that is very interesting is the MILSET Science Photo Contest. This is an activity that is linked directly to the STEM activities. So the idea of this contest is that it is open for all kids around the world. It's for free. There is not registration fee for that activity. And each year also we have a topic, but you can take any picture you want about nature or about a scientific phenomena. So you can use your cell phone, for example, and go to the kitchen and take a picture about some situation that you can relate it with science or technology. So you upload your photo, and then you must to write a slide description of how you think this picture is related with science and technology. So there is a contest. At the end of the contest, a jury, a specialist jury, select the best pictures and are public in the website, in the MILSET website. And also there are some prizes, so it's very, very interesting. Well, then about this science photo contest, also we have some expositions, some exhibitions, that's it. So just for end my contribution, the strength of our organization, MILSET, is a mixture of experiences of organizations from all around the world. Some of them, of course, are experts in STEM activities. Some of them are organizing the best science fairs in the world, and you will, as you will see in the next presentations, some others are organizing science camps, and others are organizing conferences or academical programs for involving youth in science and technology. So thank you so much, and I hope that everybody who is attending this conference can be very enthusiastic to participate. If you are not younger already, as me, you can be part of the organization. You can be a teacher who are working with kids. So the door is open for everybody. Thank you very much. Spasiba большое.
Thank you very much to you, dear Roberto. Thank you for explaining, for presenting so briefly all the MILSET practices, all the experience of MILSET during 35 years. So how did you manage to do it during only 10 minutes? I think it is a super skill. So I have a question to you. So we all know that you have been a president of MILSET for many years, and we all are very grateful to you for all your efforts for this voluntary work. And MILSET is a big organization with many members around the world, and it has many different STEM activities for use. But what do you think? What should become the new vector of MILSET development in the coming years? What are the future goals of MILSET?
Thank you very much, Xenia. I think the future of MILSET today is in the youth. MILSET is an organization created by some visionary persons who believed in that moment in the 80s years that it was necessary to create something to support the academical life of the students. So they start to think how to make that, and those people came from science museums, came from organizations that already have some activities with kids, and the experience together finally settled in that organization. But now, 37 years ago, the things have changed. The youth has another necessities, has another tools for make science, and it will be necessary that young people also can contribute to to underline which is the way that this organization will follow in the future. That's why we are trying to involve some volunteers and to understand how the world is working now, because it's changing very quickly. So that's why I just believe that the future is in the youngsters.
Thank you very much, Roberto. Thank you for your presentation. And now I would like to give a floor to representative of one of the largest regions of Russia and the region with the most difficult climate conditions, you know, Yakutia. I would like to invite to microphone the principal of Sakha Junior Science Academy, one of the most advanced regional centers in STEM education in Russia. Dr. Vasily Pavlov, please, the floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greetings to you all. Thank you, Ksenia, for inviting me to this wonderful roundtable. And I would like to give a little overview what we do here in Eastern Siberia, which is, in fact, one of the biggest regions in Russia, but very of low population. I have to say that STEM education in principle is embedded in the Russian educational curriculum, but plus there is a number of STEM-based additional education establishment affiliated to the ministries of education of regions, of particular regions. In case of my republics, which is Yakutia, one of the largest regions in Russia, in Eastern Siberia, which is of the size of Indian subcontinent, we are the part of the Ministry of Education, and we call the Science Academy, Sakha Junior Science Academy, which was established in 1999. Can I put the next slide, please?
You can change the slides yourself, but I can help you also.
Okay, could you please do that, because I can't do that, from this side. Anyway, for the second slide, I have to say that in 2018, we became a regional center for the gifted education, and we now working from year to 2021 from the framework of the national program of education, which is one of the national projects, state-funded ones. We have three so-called basic organizations which is working with us in different fields of activities, which is the Yakutsk Ballet School, the High School of Music, and the Center for the Development of Young Sportsmen. As far as the STEM education, slide 3, STEM education is concerned, over the years we have developed a STEM education ecosystem, which is consists of a variety of different organizations that work with us, and then we set up branches in all different parts of our vast region in different districts. And also throughout the years we have cultivated the different key partners, which is the Russian Academy of Sciences, another of the very important partners of ours, and also the Northeastern Federal University, Academy of Sciences of our republics, and also the children press organizations, and also the Future Generation Foundation. Basically, we are the STEM education institutions, and we're working in, as I said, in 3 domains, which is the art, science, STEM education, and also the physical education and the sports. As far as our main activities are concerned, we have some very important main activities, which is one of them, Yakutsk International Research School, with an open-ended experimental projects that we do during the summer months for about 100 kids. And then we also have the junior version of it, but it in fact is basically run online, and it involves many hundreds of young kids of the middle school and primary school. They're very much and keenly involved in this joint work, especially working with the our expert and the expert community. And also we have joint research projects with our branches that we have many. As far as the another interesting project that we have the project which is called the Scientific Summer Online. In fact, this is a very vast and an incredibly developed project nowadays. It's almost involved about 1,000 kids throughout not only our region, but different regions of Russia and also some other countries. They in fact do very interesting book, so-called the recording all the interesting events that actually happening in the surrounding environment, and keeping up a book of changes that is quite interesting in terms of the giving some scientific intake into how we can, for example, record certain things and then develop that in the different fields of activities. And then we have also the field expeditions that we do quite in a various manner in different regions, and it is very well funded. And then we have on the our flagship event, which is we call the Step into the Future. It actually covers more than involves more than 70,000 school students at the school level, and then we have 30,000 at the district level, and we selecting down to 2,500 kids that actually take part, fielding more than 1,500 STEM projects during the January months. And then this is the one of the most important and the selective events when we select more than 300 school students with their 300 projects that we in fact send to the best all Russian contest and competitions, exhibitions, and all sorts of different events that actually happening throughout the year, and also to international events. And then we also have another important program, which is we call the Big Challenge. Big Challenge, which is the an engineering contest. We have a very active involvement in that. And then we have an event that we in fact organize for the our international friends, international events of all different kinds, including the subject Olympiads as well as the science fairs, etc. And for the future plans, I have to say that we discovered one thing, that after giving all this additional education in STEM, we in fact want to give the opportunity to our young researchers to develop their project further. For example, when they go out into the larger world, getting into the better universities and so on throughout our country and different countries, it will be always nice and very important to give them some landing spot or path to develop STEM projects that are related to our republic. Therefore, we decided that the next step of our development will be setting up a new technological research center, which will be working on the STEM education lines, giving the STEM projects completely based on the multidisciplinary groups, and we will be developing it as a part of a larger scheme for turning our institution into a university of technology and science in the end, because we see that we have to follow up all the projects that our kids do and help them to get some industrial sponsorship, etc., and make them into a bigger projects that will be much more interesting and lively in terms of creating not only the community itself, but in fact very much a working the scheme for developing STEM projects into a viable, applied research and STEM project that will be extremely important and for the development of our republic. And therefore, I would like to say that we are very much an institution that have been very successful in implementing the basic principle of STEM education, and with a proven record that we're giving the opportunities to young people to excel in their STEM-based project. And therefore, we think that the facilitating and sustaining this STEM principle into the future will require us to have a more broader view on the development and have a the way forward into thinking that we have to turn ourselves into a much bigger entity that will cater the development of all these activities into a much larger and more sustainable and interesting projects in the future. Thank you very much. Okay. I think you just it's been muted. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Yes, Ksenia.
Thank you very much, dear Vasily. I think that few countries, not only regions, can show such a, such a large and diverse experience in STEM education. So we can see that you have built a strong collaboration between education, science, and real sector. And the project that your students are involved in are really connected with the very important problems for Yakutia. So, but my question is about other thing. You know that Yakutia is very big. It is the largest region of Russia. And some districts of Yakutia, are very far from your academy. And they are located in very remote and inaccessible areas. So my question is, how do you manage to involve children from such remote areas into your STEM program? What are you doing for this?
Yes, we develop a system whereby we giving the constant monitoring and also the follow up the projects that the kids do, especially in the outlying regions, which is very far away from the centers. Always we're working on the online projects. We have a certain special online landing spot site that gives them up, the possibility for the participants to take part in all these projects and also show their own projects by downloading them and having the way for consulting and having the sort of all the information needed, as well as the help from ourselves. Also, we in fact looking for the experts for all these different projects that kids do from the very far regions, and we're having this system working very well for many years now, whereby we involving the local community or scientific community, giving the chaperones and also the giving supervisors, in fact designing and designating the supervisors for particular projects.
Thank you for your important work that you do in Yakutia.
Thank you.
So now I would like to invite to the microphone our friend and colleague from beautiful country, from India. Let me give a floor to the director of the Foundation for Global Science Initiative, Secretary of the Science Societies and Public Trust, Mr. Piyush Kumar. Piyush will tell us about the STEM education in India.
Thank you, Ksenia, and wish you all a warm welcome to India. I hope I'm audible to all of you. just confirm me if I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, that's great. So here I start with our name, the Foundation for Global Science Initiatives. Well, we write global, which we want to attribute. It's global and local, both the parts. That's why we call it local, right? So in here, as far as the global is concerned, our whole initiatives has been there to tie up at the utmost platforms initiated by MILSET, and we have raised our concern and our trust by the name of Science Societies and Public Trust, and tied up with MILSET. At the same format, at the Indian concern, at the local concern, we are tied up with NOSTC, earlier known as the NCSTC Network, which is a prime organization initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, which was earlier headed by our respected chairman, Mr. Anuj Sinha, and Dr. D.K. Pandey. And both were, me and Mehul were the colleagues from Intel when we were working for Intel Science Cell and Discovery Fair, now known as IRIS. Now let me put it across the diversity to which we are working with, wherein hands-on activities is our first concern, where our focus is to change the stream of education, which is in actual built in India in terms of attending class 1, class 2, class 3, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, format till grade 12. What we are initiating, what we are doing by raising through our school, which I initiated by the name of Modern Science Academy, where we call it as a 3 months program of primary education, where there is no classification as a standard 1 student, or to say grade 1 student or a grade 2 student. This is what we are talking. Yes, can I have the next slide, please? Yes, please. Can I have the next slide? Yeah, here as I talked about this, we call it as a Bhavishya Laksh Sanyojak. We want to take the responsibility of the child of what can the future be by studying in our network. As we told them that it's not just the book study that needs to be focused upon. There needs to be some more of an activity where they start creating more and more projects at the higher end and lower end, creating some models and try to explain the things of this as per what they understand about the science. And that's why what we call it Bhavishya, means the future, Laksh, the target, and Sanyojak, that's the planning, what we call it. And that's why we call it Bhavishya Laksh Sanyojak, and which is co-piloted by Foundation for Global Science Initiatives and NOSTC, the earlier which was known as NCSTC Network. Here we get the contribution even from the Science Societies and Public Trust, where we focus that students whom we culture can reach to the international platform and market the projects as to a global entity. Yeah, next please. And here we even take the pioneership by of STEM, wherein we take the students of class in 12 who require a special needs, means where we don't call them as a undeveloped students, but where their brain is to be cultured much more at irrespective of their age factor. This is the prime focus of our NEP, the National Education Program initiated in India, where their age should not be the factor of what they have earned, what they have learned. It should be the idea, the knowledge, what they have learned should be their factor of their classification of which section of study they are into. As we call it, the primary section, the middle section, the secondary section, and the senior secondary section. It is with this focus where we talk it as development of skills among them, the critical analysis of the mentalities, the problem what they are facing in the local area, creativity by which they can focus upon to it, and the logical reasoning even which needs to be shared with their parents too. The time period what we get at school is not enough. We just get one section of the time of their daily life where we have to inculcate into them of identifying, understanding oneself. And the teacher's target is not to just to transmit what they have learned in their studies, but to do a psychological and case studies of the students of how much they have developed to their talent level. It is with this what we want to put. We have taken up the program even to DST, the Department of Science and Technology of Government of India, and we are which we call as a pioneer program of initiating this thing among the students in India. Where just can I have the last one here? It is with this. Please, can I have the last one before last to last?
This one?
No, just the before one. 2 slides before. 2 slides before. Yeah, one more slide, please. Just let me just elaborate upon here. Yeah, no, the next one. Yeah, please let me talk about it. The cultivating the young minds with the flagship STEM programs. What we call is Atal Innovation Mission, where the reach of this mission is initiated by the Government of India and reaching out to 10,000 this kind of Atal establishment in the schools. Each and many of the schools in India is taking up this Atal tinkering labs, where the students' project is taken up at the highest level of what they are making up and how much with the knowledge what they've gained. It's the iSTEM program also, which was launched year before last and has been integrated with the STEM related activities. The skill education media, the Skill India mission, which I initiated in a very remote place of India by the name of Munger, which is also known as Yoga Nagari, where yoga was initiated time back around 1880 years back. It is known as the foundation stone of first yoga university, yoga institute and yoga center to be put up in India. And here the skill and management is being initiated with the yoga knowledge. Coming up in the next is I'll just take a few more informations on this part, where there are certain new education policy which talks.
Do you need next one?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just on with it. It promotes this NEP program, new National Education Program of India, talks about promotes skill-based education. That's the foster critical thinking what we are trying to put across. Culturing the environment among the students of problem solving, emphasis on local languages and getting them into the scientific modes, improving the teachers training and increasing this funding for this infrastructures. And this is where we want to initiate with all the common international entities. This we have tried to put it right from the primary level, as I talked about in the initial stage, to the higher level also. We also go about encouraging the interdisciplinary and multilingual education policies. That is, the content of the knowledge is not dependent onto the language what knows about. The coding and decoding of the skills among the students, the experimental learning programs, and also the practical and experimental understanding among the students. We also go for the vocational programs, right? So the main focus of bringing these things into highlight is the reason how we are moving ahead, apart from our tie up with international science platforms and going ahead with it. Now I come on to the next slide, where we talk about a few of the experts with us. Can I have the next slide, please? Yes, Mr. Anuj Sinha, who is very much closely related with the DSTs and DSTs activities. Dr. G.K. Pandey, Mehul Raja, who has been with the Intel and right now working for us. And we all are together functioning in multi-formats. The Foundation for Global Science Initiative, one of them. Second being the Science Societies and Publics. Third being the Bhavishya Laksh Sanyojak, and the school media is the Modern Science Academy School. Next slide, please. The conceptualization was of this FGSI, as all of we have been talked about. It has been since 2012, the time when we joined with the MILSET, and our focus being the research, science, and innovations. We are initiated with the 30 countries. Yes, the media has been MILSET and INSEF, Intel Science and Engineering Fair platform. In India, yes, we have also tied up with IEY, International Exhibition of Young Inventors by Japan Institute of Inventions and Innovations. And we have hosted the fair also in India. We got the chance to it. And we also initiated our international platform by the name of YES, Youth Activities for Superior Humanity. Next slides, please. We have been, as I have just mentioned, we have had 4 programs. First is the Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists through CAI, I mean to say from Indonesia, IEYI from the route from Japan, and I mean to say more to be particular Taiwan, and yes, the 2020 and 22 we had it in India. Next slides, please. The objectives I have already initiated that, yes, the STEM, the theme of the STEM that we had initiated with, and the setup of the science incubation centers is our goal now in most of the schools, making STEM as one of the basic part of every kind of schooling in these programs in every parts of India. These are certain grand awards that we put up across to the students who come up with the great projects. Like this is a project where the solar-based vehicles, its speed limit has been increased from 30 kilometers per hour to 80 kilometers per hour. In fact, this was what put up across in 2016 and has now been developed. In fact, this project was also presented to Roberto Sir when he was there in India in 2016 at Amity University, which was initiated by us. Next slide, please. International, the cooperations, what we have been talking about, that India-Singapore Knowledge Exchange Program, we are growing up in the India-UK Joint Educational Research Initiatives, which we are focusing to, and Associate of Southeast Asia Nations Program, the ASEAN, to which Dr. D.K. Pandey is very much attached with, and he takes up this thing with many of the South Asian countries. Next slides. Well, this is what to give you a highlight, where 3 of our students who were nurtured from our end reached to the international fair, that ISEF, and I mean, the glory was there. Next slide, please. The APCYS, the programs, Asia Pacific Conference of Young Scientists. We had the pleasure of Dr. Roberto to be there, and we are very much thankful to him for this. Next slide, please. This is another few of the glimpses of the other science events that we have been having. Next one being IEYI, International Exhibition for Young Inventors at Taj Hotel and Manav Rachna University, which was held in 2018. 2019, we had a glory part where we initiated our efforts in Space Science Forum. And we are reaching now space science education to the farthest level to the in the country in South India. We have other programs that we have been attached with MILSET since 2015, 2016, and even last year. Next slides, please. Next slides, yeah. The EC Passive Conference of Young Scientists. Next slides. The UNESCO and Holland, where we had Mehul to present to company with our teams from India. Next slide. Obviously, we had the chance to be there in France and with a team, and it was a great experience. Next slides. My presence at Belgium, and yes, that was an excellent time for me, and I had a great desire to be there with MILSET in Mexico this year, which circumstances it led me there. Next slides, please. My starting up with MILSET and the teams that we had taken up there with a number of schools. Now we have reached farthest to the north region, to the south region, that in Ladakh, and in the north, and Kerala in the south, Lakshadweep. Next slide, please. Please. Taiwan International Science Fairs. Again, the motive always has been the STEM, the culturing of science, technology, and engineering thing. The thumb hole, what we have been talking about, let me put it here, is in most of the places, most of the fairs where we had been talking about, is the student who has done it. So the focus of all the media is always on the human, the student who has done it, and the project, what has been done, gets a stoppage after that. And hence now we are culturing among the schools to take the authorities on the projects also, so that the projects after the student passes out from the school can be carried out by another group of students, so that at one stage it becomes an innovation at the international level. What I had done while being with Intel, when one of the project could reach to the Nobel Prize ceremony by one of the students. So keeping that target, that how to focus the projects to be equally valid, important as much the developer of the projects, which I'd like to share with our group here of MILSET, that apart from the human, means the student who is developing it, let's have an equal arena of all the projects that has been done, and to see to it that how this project can be developed much more ahead with another group of students, means making so many of the pilots projects, so that there is for each and every project there are more than 100 students attached to it. Ultimately it turns out to be a total innovations. That's the suggestion which I'd like to put across with the platform here. The new approach and technology of the STEM is yes, the media which we have been talking about, the artificial intelligence, wherein all the guidance can be given to the students once they take up the project. The virtual reality and the augmented part, and the STEM ignites this progress. This is what our thing. We acknowledge the impactful government of India for the initiatives that has been given to us. We emphasize the need of ongoing support and collaboration efforts with MILSET. We conclude with the invitation of stakeholders to this project, to this platform of getting more and more projects being done at Indian soil. With an invitation to all, I thank you for your support. And this is what our vision: arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. That's what I have put myself into it. Thank you. And thanks a lot to all of you for giving me the time. Thank you.
Dear Piyush, thank you very much to you for your report. Thank you. Now we all have seen that how children from India are successfully involved in STEM education and in international communication as well. Thank you. Maybe our participants, our speakers have some questions to Piyush, but my personal question is, well, I've noticed some photos in your presentation. The photos that show how children are working during the experiments. And my question is, on the photos that you've demonstrated, we saw that for children it's not always necessary to have, you know, the modern expensive equipment in order to do science and research with enthusiasm. But what do you think? If we talk about the future in STEM education in India, do you consider that obtaining a modern laboratory equipment it is a very important goal, or there are some other priorities for the future?
Let me put it in two parts format. The first scale, which where the education in India was taken as, was reaching to the maximum people of the population, so that every fellow of India is educated. The education was the primary factor. Now we are shifting from primary factor of education to the quality part. Means education is just not learning but also development, and that's what we talk about the STEM, wherein right at the primary level the student should be initiated to make projects. It's not just by studying the books but also by making the models. Yes, we encourage both the factors. The cheaper one, the main thing is the concept that needs to be there, that whatever we are studying in the books, what is the concept in making it, be it the smallest model format, and to the best of ones where we talk about getting the governmental support of best of the laboratory equipments which can be initiated to the schools, and more people, more and more students can exercise their intelligence in making new innovations. That's our motive is. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, just a moment. And now I would like to give a floor. I would like to give a floor to a very important person for me. Our great friend and my teacher in many aspects, because we have been working in MILSET Executive Committee for many years. Mr. Rini Barlow, the MILSET Executive Committee member and the head of MILSET Strategic Planning Committee, also the Executive Director of XIII Canada. Please, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much, Ksenia. My focus today is on youth STEM projects in Canada, and I want to talk about the last few years and particularly focus on our hybrid recovery and hybrid involving in-person but also online events and activities. So let me get started right away. I think I can do the slides. The mission for XIII Canada is right there. It's quite simple. We fuel the curiosity of Canadian youth through STEM projects. And so that is our entire focus. We have basically 4 programs. My STEM Space, which is the program to get students started on doing projects, that is entirely online. And Smarter Science, which is a professional development program for teachers that introduces them to the idea of inquiry-based learning projects and walks them through a process of helping students to develop projects and experiments and activities. The Canada-wide Science Fair, CWSF there, which is our national competition, and then Team Canada, which goes to represent the country at various events, including MILSET ESI, the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair, and the European Union Contest for Young Scientists, and a variety of other places. Canada, like Russia, is a very large country, but like Yakutia, we have a very small population. And despite that, You can see the little red stars. We have 100 regional STEM organizations that hold fairs across the country, and you can see that we cover the country very well, even all the way into some of the remote Arctic regions, and so we literally go from coast to coast to coast. Our challenge was that the Canada-wide Science Fair in 2020 was scheduled for May 10th to the 15th, and because of the global pandemic, COVID-19, it was canceled on March the 20th. So that was only 2 months before our event was supposed to happen. We decided that we couldn't run a national competitive event with awards and judging and everything in just a short period of time. So we decided to create something we called the YSC Online STEM Fair. We had our first call with an organization called engineering.com here in Canada, who had a site called Project Board that they were using to help engineers share projects with each other around the world. And in just 37 days, we helped them transform that platform into a platform that would support youth STEM projects. So after 37 days of very hectic work, we launched the YSC Online STEM Fair. And that's what it looked like online. And so you went online, and you could see that there were some categories at the bottom, and then when you went in, these were the projects. And you're able to click on the projects and see some detail with them, and we were very pleased actually with the response to this, because of course we had students across the country who had done projects, expected to take them to regional STEM fairs and the Canada-wide Science Fair, but because of COVID, they were unable to. So the end result was that out of our 100 regional organizations, we had 67 who participated in 2020. We had 638 projects online, and those projects are still there and available. We also decided to do a small online trade show called STEM Expo, which we normally do in person, and we had 31 exhibitors at that trade show. But the most exciting thing was that we had 25,000 registered visitors, students and teachers from across the country who came online virtually to visit the online STEM fair, and this really triggered a notion for us that in addition to our in-person event, which is reasonably well visited, that we needed to embrace the online platform as well. So from there, we had to, we actually ran our Canada-wide Science Fair. It was supposed to be in Ottawa in 2021, but we decided to make it completely virtual. And so we integrated everything. We used a platform dedicated to holding conferences called Encore Chime Live. And this was the participant view of the platform. And for visitors, this was what the lobby of the STEM Expo looked like. And you can see that there was a main stage. There was something called STEM Expo, which is our little trade show, and then the project zone where you could go to view the projects. And if we clicked in there, you can see that it's got a little bit more of a sophisticated look than it did in 2020, and it actually highlights our 8 challenge areas that we invite students to do projects in. And you can see that we had some outstanding projects there. You can actually scroll down. It looks a little bit like Netflix or something like that. And each of the projects can be clicked on. They have a 1-minute video and then a variety of sections. And you can see that they also display some awards that were presented as part of the competition. This is the STEM Expo. We had a slightly different look to it, but these are our sponsors, other organizations around Canada that either are involved in STEM as a company or working on STEM promotion, or our post-secondary institutions, universities and colleges who are looking to attract the students that we have in our competition. And all of this took place on the platform called Project Board. We also introduced something called CWSF TV. Normally at our in-person events, we have a variety of presentations, and we thought that it would be interesting to pre-record a variety of presentations and offer that as streaming video. So we ended up with 9 hours of video programming, 3 days times 3 hours. And we shared that with our visitors and with our participants over the week of the Canada-wide Science Fair, which is a week-long event. It was very, very successful. We had 337 projects by 374 finalists. We conducted over 1,000 judging interviews on Microsoft Teams with 310 judges. That's an interesting logistical challenge, organizing that many Teams meetings with interviews with judges and students. We also instituted virtual pin exchange. So both visitors and participants could go on and exchange pins with each other, and there were over 10,000 pins exchanged virtually. We had 62 STEM Expo exhibitors, and as I mentioned, 9 hours of streamed video content, all related to STEM education, STEM content, STEM research, and highlighting projects. So that was 2021, but the most exciting thing was that we had 51,280 registered visitors online, which is an incredible number for us to visit our national STEM fair, and we were really thrilled with the idea that there was that much interest out there. We, of course, promoted it to schools all across the country and invited schools and teachers and to bring their students. Now that 51,280 represents, in some cases, classrooms that were students of 20 or 25 students, and so the actual number of people who saw the event is probably much larger. The following year was our 60th anniversary. The first Canada-wide Science Fair was in 1962, so we've been doing this for quite a long time. We had really hoped that we would celebrate our 60th anniversary at an in-person event, but we chose in 2022 to stay completely virtual. And so by this time, we had a pretty good idea what we were doing with a virtual event. And for the virtual Canada-wide 2022, you can see the numbers there. We basically repeated many of the things that we did in 2021. The difference was that our Canada-wide Science Fair TV was not streamed. It was actually on demand, a little bit like Netflix. So you could go in and choose the things that you wanted to watch. And that turned out to be very popular with teachers who could look through the program that was available and then choose to show certain videos to their classes at certain times. We also extended the event to 5 full days of activities. We had 4 in 2021. And we also did all the judging and did all the awards. In terms of a breakdown, we're also very interested in equity, diversity, and inclusion. And so we're starting to measure that. We have 2 types of projects at the Canada-wide Science Fair and in our STEM fairs across the country. Discovery projects, which are scientific investigations, and then innovations, which are more on the side of engineering and of course, innovation. The breakdown at the fair is almost equal between the 2 of them. And you can see that there's also a very good balance with the age groups. So junior is grade 7 and 8, intermediate is grade 9 and 10, and senior for us is grade 11, 12, and in Quebec, CEGEP, which is a junior college program in the province of Quebec. You can also see that our gender balance is very close, 57% female, 41% male, and 2% other. And also from a background, we had 39% people of color, 5% Indigenous, which is a very important population for us, and 2% Black students participating in the Canada-wide Science Fair in 2022. This is what the event looked like for our participants on the lobby. It was in 2022. We tried to make it highly interactive. Students could chat with each other. We created little events for them to join throughout the week, in addition to the judging and so on. We tried to make it as full an experience as we could, and really harness the growth and sophistication of the online platforms that had emerged through the pandemic. Again, this was our project board lobby for visitors. They were able to go in, look at our Canada-wide Science Fair Museum down here in the lower left corner, celebrating our 60th anniversary. We also had activities and resources for schools and teachers, schools and students. We had our Canada-wide Science Fair TV, STEM Expo, the Project Zone, and of course our sponsors and so on. This was our project zone. It's starting to get a little more sophisticated and sort of share the look that we developed. And you can see the projects there are perhaps a little bit more developed. We decided to highlight the province that the students come from. You can see a flag from each of the Canadian provinces across the top that shows where the student is from in Canada, and we've added some more details as time has gone on to those projects. This was STEM Expo, and 73 exhibits with 66 exhibitors, and you can see there's quite a variety there of exhibits to look at. So this is our parallel piece. And this is what CWSF TV looked like. We actually measured, we had 6,160 views, many of those representing full classrooms. So we know that we were well up into the many thousands of students seeing both the Canada-wide Science Fair and CWSF TV. I mentioned it was our 60th anniversary, so we had a little actual project there to highlight that, and we presented our anniversary as a project, and you can see that there are various sections there that students can do, but we presented it as the decades of the Canada-wide Science Fair. Visitors was down a little bit. We learned in 2022 that people were getting a little bit tired of online events. And so we had 39,679 visitors, which is still a very good number, but 111,050 page views. So still very popular. But also we know that many of those who were visiting were actually teachers who were presenting and sharing it to a larger class. And so we know that the number of people who actually viewed this was much larger. So this past year, 2023, this was our return to in-person. The Canada-wide Science Fair was held in Edmonton, in Alberta, in Western Canada, and we have made the transition to hybrid. So this was our welcome to the hybrid version of the Canada-wide Science Fair, and it's definitely an in-person event, as you can see here, and you can see in the background what the projects look like. We have designed stands for the projects and their posters. It's also a very social event, as you can see. The students love to get together and share their projects and their experiences and just have a great time, and then also present their projects to the visiting public. You can see we get quite a lot of visitors in person, and you can see our STEM demonstration area, and some photos of judging, some photos of our award ceremony, and some photos of STEM Expo, where we have visiting students looking at various activities. So the in-person event is a very dynamic event, and concludes with a great award ceremony. And but the other piece is the online, which I'll show you in a second. So our in-person event, again, very good balance between discovery and innovation projects, great balance between our grades, Similar balance, our female participation always slightly outweighs our male participation. And we're increasing our participation of Indigenous students and as well as our persons of color and our Black students. So we're very, very pleased with the diversity that we're seeing at the Canada-wide Science Fair. New in 2023, we've incorporated Indigenous traditional knowledge. So the Indigenous populations have historically been rather badly treated in Canada, and there's a focus nationally on reconciliation and needing to re-engage with our Indigenous population. And so we've actually incorporated Indigenous traditional knowledge for those students that choose to include that into our judging rubric and the judging process. And every one of our projects that incorporates Indigenous traditional knowledge has an icon on it, which you can see on the screen there, just to highlight the idea and the contributions of our First Nations, Inuit and Métis populations, and that's been a very important step for us that we integrated and developed through the pandemic. We also, in 2023, developed a poster template. We found that many students struggle with being able to effectively present their projects. And so we teamed up with Dr. Mike Morrison, who you can see on YouTube with the hashtag #BetterSTEM poster. And we partnered with him to develop posters and videos and guides to more effective STEM project communication. And about 1/3 of our projects in 2023 made use of these new templates. And you can see one of the features of those is a very large area with an image that in one sentence conveys what the project is about, and then the details are smaller in other parts. This is a really important initiative for us to focus on effective STEM communication. We had 8,895 in-person visitors. So these were students who actually came to the fair, and this is the profile and of the grades of the visitors. We also created a scavenger hunt for the visitors. It's a little booklet to encourage them to go around, visit projects, and record what they see, and encourages them to talk with the students, making sure that it's very interactive and that the students have a great experience. This is actually one of the things that we picked up from MILSET and those experiences, and actually inspired by some work that XIII has done with MILSET through her work as the program advisor. Online visitors, we had 10,318, and so we're very, very pleased with that. And so we're thrilled with the kind of impact that we're having. And again, that was the lobby for the 2023 event. This is what it looked like online. So in addition to being able to visit in person, go actually chat with the students, anybody in the country or indeed around the world can go and have a look at the Canada-wide Science Fair and see the projects. And the other thing, and I think this highlights some of the things that Piyush was saying, the need to develop projects over the longer term. What we're creating, of course, is a library of projects, because these are all, they'll continue to be accessible. So they are a huge resource to Canadian students and students around the world who are looking to do projects. They can actually go and look at the best projects in the country, and also projects at the regional level on our project board platform, and be able to see a project that they might then decide to take to another level, develop it further, and so on. So a couple of initiatives that we're working on. I mentioned My STEM Space. This is how we get students started on doing projects, and we ask, how will you change the world? And we basically invite them to use their passion, skills, and STEM to solve global challenges. So This is based on our Smarter Science framework, which has 4 stages to it in terms of developing a project: initiate and plan, perform and record, analyze and interpret, and then exhibit and experience. And we invite them to explore the challenges. Those aren't all of them. We actually now have 9 challenges. We've introduced a new one this year, aerospace, and but the newest innovation is My STEM Space Spark, and this is our AI, artificial intelligence powered idea generator. So you can see it in the on the right hand corner there. It says, "Hi there, I'm Spark. I'm a bot that can help you gather ideas for your next STEM project." And it asks which of these subjects are you most interested in, and they can choose one of those. And then the next thing it says, okay, if they chose biology, great. Now, which of these the YSC challenges would you like to work on? And in this case, we've chosen digital technology. It says, perfect. What do you love to do or work or learn about in your spare time? And then they enter something that they're interested in, and the bot goes out and finds resources for them, and also will suggest project ideas. So in this case, they said they love to do snowboarding, and so there are the first 2 of 10 project suggestions: a study of the effects of different types of snowboarding equipment on the physiology of the human body, or the development of a digital snowboarding coach app that uses machine learning to analyze the user's performance and provides personalized coaching tips. Now, this doesn't give the student the project, it certainly doesn't do it for them, but it gives them ideas of the kinds of things that they could do as a STEM project, because students tell us that the hardest thing is coming up with the actual project idea. So we decided to use AI, and this specifically uses ChatGPT to offer suggestions for projects and provide online resources. So that's our newest initiative, and we're really pleased with it. And so that gives you an idea of how we've developed over the last few years and evolved from purely in-person events, which we have a 60-year history of holding, and integrating the online platforms, and particularly Project Board, in now doing everything that we do in a hybrid way, so that we have in-person events as well as online presence. So thanks very much.
Thanks to you, dear Renee, for your presentation. We all have something to learn from your experience, including accurate training of all the processes and effects of STEM education, successful implementation of a hybrid format of STEM education, and of course the optimism that no cataclysm can stop then STEM education in the world.
Exactly.
Yes, and we have some feedback from participants of our roundtable. Dries Lordy is asking some questions. For example, are project achieved now online, and can we visit the virtual exhibitions? I think you have answered this question. You showed us that it is possible, yes?
Yes, so the projects are online. So the projects consist of a 1-minute video, and again, you know, we're emphasizing effective STEM communication, and so we restrict them to 1 minute. So they have to be very concise. They can't go on for 15 or 20 minutes. And then there are different sections in the template that we are presenting the projects. So they are, and rather than the sort of traditional project categories like purpose, hypothesis, method, and so on, we actually ask questions. So each section asks a question. The first one is why, and then how, and then what, and then so what, why does it matter, and then what's next, and then we have an area for references and thanks. And so the projects are presented completely online, but we also ask the students to create posters, and when they're at the in-person events, they are there with a poster and presenting it. So can you visit the virtual exhibitions? Absolutely. I will post the link in the chat for the Canada-wide Science Fair, and you're welcome to go and visit them.
Thank you very much, Renee. And also, Dries is saying that it is a huge job, and congratulations for doing such a great job every time. And there was one more question, maybe Dries can explain it in details. The question is, are these data is in accordance with the international trends? Example, gender in VC STEM.
Right. So I think he's referring to is some of the numbers that I presented about participation in our national fair, and so are they in accordance with international trends? I would say that we are probably a little bit ahead in that we have, for the last 15 years, had a very good gender balance of male and female participants. I would say that's not normal around the world. Typically, you see a higher percentage of male students participating in STEM projects and STEM fairs, and so I think we attribute this to our challenge structure primarily. We really invite students to focus on projects that are meaningful to them, that matter to them, and that they care about, and that crosses gender boundaries. So instead of focusing on subject areas like life sciences, physical sciences, engineering, and so on, which seems very sort of technical and whatever, we focus on problems that might be local, maybe in their home, their school, their community, the country, and of course for the world. And so they're challenge areas like environment and climate change, energy, health and wellness, disease and illness. And these are things that students care about, and because in many cases the projects are the result of some kind of personal experience. Maybe somebody in their family is suffering from some kind of a disease or cancer. Maybe they saw that there's something in their school that could be better, could be improved by the development of an innovation or a device or that sort of thing. And so when students care about what it is they're working on, the gender and ethnicity and so on are no longer really factors, and so our focus now, we've sort of moved on from gender, which we we're very pleased with the results of, and now we're focusing on the area of equity and diversity to ensure that students who are normally not as strongly represented in STEM, so Indigenous students, students of color in Canada, and Black students particularly, are better represented, and so far we're very pleased with the results.
Thank you very much, Renee, and I would also like to ask some questions. Yes, we all know that Canada is one of the founders of the STEM approach in education, and you still are the best in this direction.
I don't know about that, but
yes. So Renee, we all know you are the person with a strategic vision. And what do you think? What do you see now as the next promising trend in the development of STEM education in the world?
I think focused on Canada, we recognize that we have focused perhaps too much, and I think some of the other presenters have indicated this as well, that we have tended to focus a bit too much on the high achieving students and to celebrate them. So our focus over the next 5 years for Youth Science Canada is very much to engage every student, or to try to engage every student in Canada, rather than the top 1 or 2%. And so my STEM space, which I demonstrated, is really focused on getting every youth who has an interest in, or maybe even doesn't think they have an interest in STEM, to be engaged. So I think that is probably the most important thing, and Piyush talked about this as well, is making sure that the opportunities to do STEM projects are available to every student, regardless of where they live and what part of the world they're from. Because we know that the experience of doing a STEM project is incredibly valuable. And whether you go on to a competition, whether you win anything, whether you, that really doesn't matter. The power of all of this is in doing a project and gaining the skills and the knowledge that come from taking on a project, working through it, in some cases experiencing some failure where things don't quite work out the way you planned, and then learning to sort of pick yourself up and learn from that and move forward. So I would say the big initiative is to reach out to every student in the world and make sure that they have access to these kinds of experiences.
Absolutely agree with you, Rini. Thank you very much. Thank you. And now I would like to give a floor to a representative of one of the leading technological universities of the world, the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, which pays a lot of attention to working with school children and successfully involving them in the most complex issues of modern science. Mr. Andrei Bogdanov, FISTEC Schools Development Foundation Director, please, the floor is yours.
Can you, is all right with the translation? Dear colleagues, can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you, Ksenia. Nice to meet you. Really great experience. As I can hear from different speakers, my name is Andrei Bogdanov, and I want to tell you about the experience of Moscow Institute of Physics and Technologies, one of the biggest and one of the most popular institute in Russia that makes different technologies in biological sciences and rocket sciences, satellites, radio technologies, and so on. And one of things that we are proud of, that we, Moscow Institute of Physics and Technologies, is one of the most popular among students, pupils who win different Olympiads, mostly international Olympiads in physics or in informatics and math science. And nowadays, MIPT, our institute, our university, and FISTEC Lyceum, one of the biggest school clusters in Russia, become the international center in natural sciences and our Russian center in natural sciences. So I want to tell you about the FISTEC Lyceum. It's our school that is based on our university, MIPT, Moscow Institute of Physics and Technologies. Nowadays, FISTEC Lyceum consists of a general school where nearby 1,000 students from all over Russia and CIS countries study. Mostly this school is focused on physics, on maths, on chemistry and biology Olympiads, and on classic Olympiads. That is mostly about theoretical studies, academical studies, and different Olympiads that about solving different problems, different mathematical problems, and different not project education, but mostly different academical studies. And nowadays, nearby FISTEC Lyceum, we opened the Technopark. It's one of the biggest center for children, for students in Russia and Europe. More than 27,000 square meters. Sorry, another presentation. So it doesn't work, as I can see. Thank you. No, it's not mine. Okay. One moment. We had a great opening of our center in September 2023, and the education is the center consists of 6 main streams that are connected with different streams of development of modern science and STEM. First of all, there are different biotechnological labs connected with chemistry, non-organic chemistry, nanotechnologies, genetic engineering, agrotechnologies, pharmacy, and classical academic Olympiads. The second stream of this center is Digitech. In Russia, we name it XIII. Digital technologies with different partners from Russian technological sector, mainly Yandex, Sberbank, and with labs in virtual and augmented reality, data science, Internet of Things, blockchain, creation of applications, and so on. The third stream of Technopark is MechTech, technologies of mechanisms with different labs in satellites, engines, rockets, drones, and the fourth one is QuantTech. It's connected with classical physics and education physics. For example, we have the copies of Nobel Prize experiments. So we have a material base that can help different students to make the same experiments that cost a Nobel Prize, and labs in quantum physics, energetics, optics, astronomy, space, and all that is connected with astronomy, space sciences, and physics. The fifth stream of our center is creative tech. Of course, students should be that are talented in engineering and science are not shouldn't think only about physics or maths, and they should be train their skills in different ways, and for that we have a creative tech stream of our Technopark, our center, where students can study pottery or architecture or design or production of different educational content or digital content. so they can study some humanitarian skills. And the sixth stream of our center is entrepreneur tech. It's connected with students' entrepreneurship. Some students have really great projects, and these projects can cause some revenue for founders, for teams that created that project, and for that we have special courses in soft skills that are learning soft skills, learning students introduce their projects, making presentations, making financial plans, and even more make small-scale production of their products. So this stream of our center, Entrepreneur Tech, is connected with commercialization, trade, and learning students to make projects that can be financially successful. In this center, we have 98 labs. Every lab has a partner from the industry, mostly Russian institutes and different corporations, Russian and international. For example, such companies as Sber, Yandex, Rosatom, Russian Atomic Corporation, and so on. And the main goal here, maybe not the main goal, but the main feature of these labs, that every lab of our center stream is connected with real industry and real workers, real workers of this corporation, real scientists work here, and they work with children. Lastly, I want to invite you to visit our center, to visit international camp. We will have an international camp in summer, this summer in July, and we are trying to make the international conference this year with colleagues from Moscow State University, with the help of Ksenia and the team of Alexander Leontovich, and we'll believe that this conference will be successful, and we are really happy to invite you to visit our center and to try different STEM classes and some lessons. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrei. Yes, as already mentioned, Roberto, the MILSET Vostok Expo Sciences is planned to be held in Moscow, but not only in Moscow, but in Moscow region, in the biggest techno park in Russia. And Andrei is not only the head of FISTech Development Foundation, but he's also the head of this biggest techno park in Russia, which will be the venue of MILSET Vostok Expo Sciences this year. So you all are welcome to be part of this big international event. So my question to you, Andrei, I know that your foundation interact with the school and involve them in STEM activities, but what is your strategy? How you do it? How you find access to involve them in your programs?
Thank you, Ksenia. I think the main goal here is to show that show students that they should make not only academical studies, but make real projects that are connected with industry, with economy, and show the large scale of different streams, where different ways where they can develop, they can try to make their own scientific works or projects. And we have an all-Russian conference, Start to Innovate, for example, where we try to teach students that are really fond of scientific work and engineering to make entrepreneurship projects, and students that participate in this conference can enter Russian universities with additional bonuses. And for example, we have a network of STEM classes in Russia that are named Science to Regions, where we study not students, but we teach teachers in maths and physics to improve their knowledge in their subjects, and make a profile class with natural sciences direction of its development. And it's really successful. For example, we have Russian exams. It's from which students can enter different universities. It's named national state exam, our national state exam, and students in these classes raise their results for nearby by 30%, something like this. Okay, welcome to Russia. It will be nice to meet you. And we would be really grateful to meet you in MILSET Vostok conference, and to show the Russian culture, Russian technologies, and to make really great projects with our students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrei. Can you hear me, dear participants of the round table, because my connection is not very good? But thank you very much one more time, and we really welcome all of you at the MILSET Expo Sciences Vostok this year. Can you hear me? Sorry.
I can, Ksenia.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, okay, great. So let me give a floor to the next speaker. I would invite
Hello, Ksenia.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I hear you.
Oh,
Just now, right now.
So let me present me. Now I would like to invite our great friend, a specialist in the field of science museums, Dries Lordi, with a story about the Bee Museum in Morocco and its role in the environmental education. So, dear Dries, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Ksenia. Dobroy Outra. Hello, everybody. I would like to thank the organizer, and particularly Ksenia, to give me this opportunity to talk for the first time with teachers, with educators from Russia and from all the world. I'm very honored and really happy to connect with you to talk about the museum, the Bee Museum in Morocco. The outline of my presentation will be as follows. First, we talk about 1 million of years for innovation of bees. Secondly, a brief history of Bee Museum of Rabat. And finally, we will talk what I learned as a person from Bee Museum and from 40 years of STEAM practices. The bees have collected 100 million of years of innovation since their apparition on Earth. You can see there dinosaur, which is 3 billion greater than, bigger than bees. Dinosaur disappeared, but not the bees. Bees survive thanks to their collective intelligence, thanks to their extraordinary ability to innovate, to find, to resolve a problem every time they're facing a problem, solution to survive. They invent a honey, and the honey was invented by bees because there are no flower in winter. They invent the process to conserve honey. They invent waggle dance to communicate where to look for nectar and pollen. These dance give the possibility to Calvin Frisch to have the Nobel Prize of Ethology Medicine in 1972. They invent scientific organization of work, not Tyler, the bees, 100 million before. They invent the propolis for the prophylaxis and for the sterilization 100 million before Pasteur. Now, let me give you an enigma. What is the connection between this Russian aristocracy fest, wedding fest, and the bees? Really fantastic idea. Yes. Have you any response? Well done. You have the hexagonal motif over there, but there is no the most important thing which lie the bees to the Russian aristocracy wedding, because despite this small size, they invent genetic mixing. They, as Russian aristocracy, avoid the inbreeding. It means consanguineous marriages. This is fantastic. Despite this genius, bees never manage to protect themselves with gas masks. It's not possible. The laws of evolutions of natural selection don't allow it to do that because the time is very short. And the consequences are very, very heavy. 40% of bees colonies in Europe collapsed in 4 decades, last 4 decades. The price we'll pay if we don't figure out what's killing the honeybees means that we will have robots in the place of the bees, and this is the result, which is the result. Ecological awareness becomes a necessity. Bees and biodiversity requires our protections. Ecological awareness become a necessity. There is the main reason for the creation of the Bee Museum in Morocco. The Bee Museum has several aims: preservation of bees and biodiversity, recycling educational center, wellness center about bees and honey, youth empowerment using sustainable beekeeping, and so on. The museum is made from entirely recycled materials. The interior of the museums now, sorry, Xenia, have you this is not my last version you send you. Do you please give me the last version?
And the last version,
I'll send you in WhatsApp.
Алексей Сергеевич, можете вы показать последнюю версию презентации?
Да, Ксюша, я вроде последний загружал, сейчас проверю.
Alexei will check and will upload the new version of your presentation.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Dries. Скажи, как закрыть. Okay, just wait 1 minute and Alexei will upload the new version of your presentation.
Yes, thank you. If not, I can share with you.
Yes, it is ready. Just we need to change the slide to the slide you stopped on.
Ah, yes. There is the last version. Okay. It was. Yes. Yes. Yes, we was here. Who was there? Yes. Actually, then they used recycled materials, a cheerful environment and scenography, suitable for young audiences, like you see here. The content was and is encyclopedic contents for adults. So we talk about apidology, we talk about anatomy of bees, we talk about sociology of bees, or on beekeeping, on honey, and so on. And also we have an amazing cabinet of curiosities, a journey wonderful living being worlds. Here, insects. Amazing journey in 19th century tradition of cabinet curiosities. And we have also an amazing school of yesteryear, a journey through time for kids. The museum also traveled to schools. Now, our principle for the foundation of this museum are as follows. We use a holistic approach of science learning. Means entomology, botanics, geology, archaeology, ecology and recycling. And second principle is learning by doing through suitable educational sequences involving exhibition, medias, and books and others. The third principle is our goal is to create emotion by generating intrinsic motivation, because we believe that child to facilitate the acquisition of the knowledge have to be surprised. The fourth principle is learning together in the group through play. And I have to you a second enigma. Where is this person? Who is this great mind and genius of pedagogy? He lives from 1886 to 1880, for only 38 years of life, but Meteor is fantastic psychological scientist from Soviet countries, from Belarusia, actually, but Belarusia.
Choose him.
Now, the contribution of Vygotsky, it was major on the elucidation of the process to transmit the knowledge. Interplay between kids make learning more efficient, like in this situation. And interplay between kids and adults consolidate their learning too. Now, please, let me share with you what I learned from Bee Museum and from 35 years of STEM practices. This is a very modest work, metaphorical work on the how to transmit science, which we are part of a museum. You can see. I retain that the first important point is socio-constructivism. It means that children, kids, students learn without the interaction with their social and environmental environments, family, school, museums, books, and so on. The second, like this mechanical system, the transmission of knowledge is not linear. It is complex. Learner integrate a new concept by making progress, going backwards and making mistakes. Mistakes are very important in the statute of the transmission of knowledge. It's allowed. The knowledge is managed to achieve the concepts. Third, our first goal as educators must be the generation of questioning in learners, the barometer of curiosity, and the case of our mission success is this. Fourth, our pedagogical and educational support must generate intrinsic motivation, which is a source of absolute satisfaction of kids and for adults too. The fifth, where is the link between snack, azurite, nestle, gastropod? Strange, where is the link? As this situation, I believe that teachers and facilitators, as you, we must create pedagogical sequences and support to interest learners, to amaze them, to surprise them. We have this opportunity to work with kids on this way. Sixth, kids as adults use what René Girard called mimetic desire, is a Nobel of literature. It means that imitations is the motor of learning process for adults as for the kids. Theodore Monod, at 5 years, his father introduced him to the Jardin des Plantes, National Museum of Natural History. He never left it. At 95 years old, he was in his desert with the curiosity of a 5-year young child. This is fantastic. He collected the most important collection of plants, material, rocks, and the meteorite. Is really a model for, must be a model for all the kids. Finally, seventh, we must have, as educators, as teachers, always ideal to defend. As Jean-Claude Guérin, the founder of MILSET, did on scientific culture for all and dialogue between cultures, between civilizations. Thanks to this commitment, during 55 years, he was able to mobilize around him thousands of people throughout the world who enabled millions of young people to meet around unforgettable moments around science. I called him a few hours before, and he sent you to this venerable assembly his friendship, and he gave you a message. The message is that your individual success lies in collective intelligence, like bees. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dries. Thank you for showing us the message from our dear Jean-Claude, the legend, the legend for us. It is really inspiring. And thank you for your report, for your presentation. I think it will be very interesting for Russian participants, because one of the topics of the roundtables within this international big conference is the role of Science Museum in STEM education. So thank you for presenting your experience. And my personal question is that I saw that you in your presentation mentioned that between many other things you based your practice on the ideas of the Russian scientist Lev Vygotsky. So my question is, I'm really interested how widespread Vygotsky's ideas are in educational practice of Morocco.
unfortunately, in Morocco, what not a big creativity and the manner to educate, the manner to transmit the knowledge, and is very classical top down, and is not all the schools. It's a different system. This is a Moroccan system, French, American. You know, Morocco is like a kaleidoscope. It's really really fantastic country. I invite all friends from Russia to come in here, and I hope we will organize probably something about Vygotsky, about education and in Morocco, to share many. We have many things to share together. And I think that we are in progress. We are inspiring from different models for all around the world. We have like a benchmark. But the practices, the practices are I think, from my point of view, is so far from the model, from the top model.
Thank you very much, Dries. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I would like to invite to the microphone our next speaker, Ms. Alexandra Danilova, the representative of one of the leading Russian companies that develops the digital tools to support the STEM activities of youth. Alexandra, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, because I'm not in the first slide now. Oh, yeah, now we're here. My name is Alexandra Danilova. I'm a partnership project director in the Global Lab platform, and I represent the word T from the STEM, which means technology. We are an online platform for the project-based learning. And today I'm going to tell you about our new tool for project-based learning. It is the project managing system for learning projects. But at first, let's start from the difficulties of learning project challenges. And right now, these difficulties are staring back at you from the screen. Let's face them and go over them. The first difficulty is that at the very beginning, students have lack of understanding a basic understanding of project culture. So there is no clear framework for their actions, and the algorithms for them are not obvious, and they don't know where to start, how to go, and at what speed they should move forward. The next problem is that each project begins with the introduction to the project, and teacher or educator, mentor of the project should prepare it in a very understanding and systematic way. And this takes a long time. And of course, there's always not enough time. The next hardship is that a teacher and participants of the project also challenges the hardships in finding information, because it can be everywhere, from the students' notebooks to their personal computers, or it could be somewhere in internet. And I think every one of us has faced this problem at least once. The next thing is off-topic discussions, of course, which leads the projects to nowhere and doesn't give any chance to move forward for the participants of the project. The next problem is focusing on the results instead of the process, because every time at the presentation of the project, students mostly focus on the results. The outcome of the project is something that is evaluated, not the process. So we don't see the proper picture about the process of developing and project skills, and this is really bad for the educational process. The next problem is very important for us because we believe that the reflection stage is necessary and it should not be skipped. It gives students opportunity to grow above yourself and move forward in project managing. The next difficulty is that educators, of course, and teachers are very busy, and they have to track many projects, many students, and all of this at the very same time. And that's when the problem enters the scene. It's hard to keep track of all of it and remain equally engaged in every project. The last but not least difficulty is that unfortunately the lesson is the only space for the project communication, for the proper communication between participants and the mentor, the teacher. It's the only time where mentor can get some information about the project and its progress. And I think most of you are familiar with these problems. And how did we figure this out? Because all the time we have been developing our system. On the one hand, we have been following the best educational methods and practices, and on the other hand, we have been listening to needs of teachers, educators, and have been in constant contact with them because our services are created for them. And all of this gave us a clear understanding of what the ideal system for managing learning project system should look like. At first, we've decided that system will be guided on the principles of simplicity, flexibility, and efficiency. Then we borrowed the real technologies used in business and in industry and add elements for organizing their educational process. And here you see some real business instrument for the project managing. We've adapted this experience to the age and the level of the project competencies. And of course, the main focus of our product is that it's designed specifically for education. Our system have roles of supervisor and participant, and of course, the user scenario are different. We have methodological tips for the teacher, so the system allows to learn not only for the students, but for the educators, for the mentors of the project too. We have some configuration templates, a set of ready-made templates for a specific type of project. It's reduce time for customizing your own project cabinet and show a ready-made model, a ready-made framework for work with the project. System allows ability to monitor the status of the project as a whole and the work of each student, and possibility to evaluate the project as a whole and individual stages of the project. We have reflective diary in it. This is a safe space for the communication of the mentor and the student, where the student can give some reflective thoughts about the process, about the project, about the results, or something other things which is important for the student. And it only could be seen by the mentor of the project. And the last one, which I want to underline, is inheritance of the settings in an individual project. Changes from the main project made by supervisor of the project are automatically passed on to everyone to whom the project is assigned. So now there are no difficulties. We propose the system. We've made the system who has a solution for all the difficulties which I've stated before. And on the passport of system, you could set the scope of the project, the goal, the planned outcome, the project product, and then you could add in it the students. You could choose ready-made customizing templates for different type of project, which is reduced time for the teacher, for the mentor of the project. You could upload the materials and tag them as a result, so you could find them really quick. The discussions could only be provided in the separate threads. So we've decided the problem of topic discussions. And the system allows to keep track on the project progress and to keep track of the all project which the supervisor have in his work. It shows in a list of projects. And now I don't want to steal your time. This is some screenshots of our interface. This is a project passport. Of course, it's in Russian now, but our future plans is to translate it in English, because the system could work not only in Russia, but also in different countries, because it's based in worldwide project methodology. So it could be used everywhere. This is a passport. This is a passport of fields you could choose, or you could create a new one. This is the space where you could add another mentors, supervisors, and participants to the project. And this is the main space. This is the main working space in project, the stages. This is our recent development. Now we have the opportunity to create a Kanban board in our system, which gives the information about current tasks for the students. This is a reflection diary. And this is the history of the project. You can see here students' activities, and you could filter the changes. You could find something you need, and you could filter the changes by date, author, and etc. Thank you very much. This is our contact. You could answer. I want to answer the question if you have one.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Thank you for presenting such an interesting experience, such an interesting tool for organizing student project work. We know that many school students all over Russia are using your platform successfully. But my question is, to what extent can this platform be self-sufficient for students to complete their projects? Or they still need to have a mentor who will accompany their project work?
This is an instrument. Of course, for the proper project-based learning, students need mentor. And this system are meant to be used for project team and for mentor too. This is an instrument like Trello in a real adult business, but in learning process.
Thank you. So teachers are still important. That's very good.
Of course, very important.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexandra. Now I would like to invite our next speaker. Let me introduce Leona Goldobina, a representative of Russian youth scientific volunteer community, a participant of various environmental events, as well as a tutor of the International Research School. Leona will present one of the initiative public projects, which in recent years has widely attracted Russian school children to citizen science. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me and see me? Everything is okay?
Yes.
Yep. So today I will tell you about citizen volunteering and citizen science and school environmental studies. And my name is Lena Goldobina, so nice to meet you. And so my speech will be about an example of conducting school environmental research within the framework of the Ecology Patrol project in the format of scientific volunteering as an initiative of the decade of science and technology in Russia. Also, stages of project development, its current state and prospect for the development of the project, and the benefits of student participation in scientific volunteering programs. So 2022 to 2031 in Russia has been declared the decade of science and technology, one of the initiatives of which was scientific volunteering. In April 2023, the All-Russian Public State Community of Children and Earth Union of the First launched a new decade, civil science, and now we need to figure out what this, why students should participate in scientific volunteering projects, and what project they can take part in. So what is the scientific volunteering? The same as citizen science, and it's the concept of conducting scientific research with the involvement of a wide range of volunteers, many of whom may be amateur, have no scientific background or specialty training, etc., etc. And as we know, all school children fall into this category. And according to IBM Corporation experts, the development of citizen science is among the top 5 global trends for the next 5 years. So the citizen science become one of the top-level initiatives of the decade of science and technology. And the decade of science and technology allows us to solve the problem associated with attracting talent into the field of research, as well as increase the awareness of Russian citizens about the achievement and prospects of national science. So, despite the fact that significant interest in the phenomenon of citizen science has arisen only in recent years, this phenomenon itself has history of more than a century and was first used for bird observation and at the very beginning of the 20th century. And there are many projects in the world in which volunteers are required to conduct research, and very often their projects have environmental themes. Those include observing whales and other marine mammals for tourist ships in Arctic and Antarctica, studying coral reefs, studying the plant's special composition, including invasive species, and mapping their population. In 2019, the Ecology Patrol project was launched in Russia with the aim of establishing a network for school environmental monitoring. The project was based on the method of instrumental environmental monitoring. This decision was influenced by the project goals to include as many regions of Russia as possible, belong to the different natural zone, and the application of the bioindication method that was used in an early invention in the United Kingdom would not be effective in the context, so this is why we choose another method. Therefore, it was decided that project teams conducting research in various regions should be equipped with the unified set of equipment for school environmental study. The proposed set of sensors allows for the measurement of wide range of parameters related to air, water, precipitation, and soil. A fundamental feature was the ability to connect the sensors to the teacher or student's smartphone or computer, which significantly reduce equipment cost and enable the inclusion of many schools. So in 2020, the methodological council of environmental patrol, ecology patrol project, was formed, which include more than 5 different educational foundations and organizations in Russia. As a result of the competitive selection, 21 regional operators were selected. 480 educational organizations presents 678 projects in the field of ecology. 408 organizations reach the finals, and a total of 482 equipped teams participate in the competition, which made it possible to prove 3,400 school children with the equipment necessary to conduct research. So in 2021, the all-Russian final of the environmental patrol competition was held for the first time. At the same time, it was included in the list of Olympiads and other intellectual events by the Ministry of Education of the Russian Federation. In 2022 and 2023, project from 2,330 participants living in 80 constitution events in the Russian Federation, as well as several works from Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and Moldova have already been submitted to the competition. So now our project have 5 different tracks, and the first one is water, also soil, track air, young explorers, and complex monitoring. So the young explorers are the most popular track, and a lot of participants every year participate in this area. It's very nice. This track is for children from 1 to 5 grades in our school. So it's maybe from 6 to 10 and 11 years old. So it's very nice that the younger students also participate in our project. We are very glad for this. And so in future, the environmental patrol project may become the basis for creating an all-Russian network of school environmental monitoring in the format of scientific volunteering. And moreover, it will allow not only entering new data and analyze large data already assumed in the system. And the first step in this direction were taken in 2022 at the international exhibition Expo Science Asia 2022, and our participants go there and receive a medal. So we are working hard to improve our project and make it global, to connect all the participants all around the Russian Federation and other countries to make the global map of ecology monitoring. So thank you for your attention. I will be glad to answer the questions.
Thank you very much, Leona. Thank you for introducing us a very specific practice that engage students in citizen science. This project, we know that the project has been very active for several years, and that you have presented some data on the number of participants and effectiveness of the project. So my question is, what do you see as the key barriers to engaging school children in citizen science? I mean, are there some students interested in taking part? This number is large or not? How responsible school children are in implementing the tasks? Do you find some mistakes in students' data? And if yes, how do you manage to correct these mistakes?
Mm-hmm. Of course, sometimes it's hard to work with their people who don't have biological background, but I think it's a lot of people who want to participate, and the first step is not only to collect the right data and to make some specialized hard research based on this data, but just to involve a lot of people into science and show them that they can actually make some researchers, and it's interesting, not boring, not so complicated. So I think on the first steps, it's necessary to prove that science is interesting for all group of people, and even their school children can participate in research. And then I think the most important part to make them interested in the science. And also we can use their data, because sometimes it can be some mistakes, but also our equipment is very simple to use. So it's decrease the level of mistakes, the number of mistakes, and also they can use it in their own projects, or sometimes we can double check, because their global monitoring, it's important to find out the spots in some city or countryside where their natural environment is in not a good condition. So sometimes it's just like the mark that we need to double check this area. So it's not so so scary that they make mistakes, but they learn more. So I think this is my answer.
Thank you very much, Leona. Thank you for the presentation, for your answer. Alexander Danilov, are you still with us? Because we have a question for you in the chat. Reni Barlow is asking you if you can hear us. The question is, I'm curious, where this platform is currently being used, and approximately how many students, teachers, and schools you have on the platform? What are your plans to expand the reach of Global Lab?
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for all of these questions. Our platform has existed 10 years, and the first initial our product was the collaborative projects for the students. And now we have, I could tell, confident that we have 450,000 users in the platform, This number includes teachers and students, and this is Russian users, of course. Now I could give proper information only on this field. But we also have international partners. We work with the Discovery Education, and they use our functions connected with crowdsourcing projects, this collaborative thing, which I've mentioned before. And of course, we want to expand. We want to go to international because we believe that our system is very useful and unique now. Unique because it's meant specifically for education, for the managing learning project. And now we are in the search of the new partners. Thank you.
Thanks very much. That's very helpful. And yeah, I might be in touch.
Yeah, of course. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Thank you. I regret to tell you that our final speaker will not be able to join us. He has some circumstances. So, dear colleagues, our roundtable is coming to its end. I'm sure that today we have all become acquainted with the most diverse practices of STEM education in the world, and we all have learned something new for ourselves. So let me thank everyone who took part in this roundtable, our speakers, our participants. I wish you success in our important work that we do, and I hope it is not our last meeting. So see you next time. Have a nice day. See you.